Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another stellar episode of your boys, the Inspyre boys. We ain't got a guest today, so we've got a nice little chill one.
I feel like we haven't had a one-to-one episode for a while.
For a minute, yeah, for sure. So, and we've been busy. We've been absolutely busy, and we'll definitely be getting into that. But what have we done? We've had the conference, we've had the midges thing. We announced our tickets early in the month. I'm sure there's a lot more things that's been happening in 1 month that, you know what I mean.
Recorded with a whole bunch of guests.
Recorded with hella guests, amazing guests.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean, it's been a hectic month, but you know what? I remember looking at my calendar at the start of the month and like filling in different things and engagements that we had. And I was like, I kind of liked that it was a bit packed out because it felt like this is, in a way, kind of what we've been working towards months, that like the stuff that we're doing is packed out. Like, okay, this weekend is busy. We had, also our book club was as well. Yeah. All in the same month. So yeah, it was a absolutely hectic one. But the first one that I want to touch up on is an amazing thing that's happened. I think now, was it last week or the week before? How long has it been since the conference?
Oh, the conference?
Yeah.
Last week, no?
Was it last week? Yeah. The first ever creative Somali-led conference to happen in the UK. And it was in Cardiff. Yeah. Out of all places, you know. So shout out to Riyo and Hannah and Sarah and all the staff that, you know, were putting it all together, because
Grange Pavilion,
because I think, I can't lie to you, it's probably one of the best events that I've ever been to. Because I haven't really been to conferences, so I'm just throwing it all in one big basket. But it was definitely up there with like even the Scope Gala, in terms of like the people that were there, the connections, the networking, the whole thing. You know what I mean? It was 10 out of 10. Yeah. But before I go into my thoughts, I just kind of wanted to know what you thought about the whole experience.
Like in terms of the conference. Yeah, man. I would say it definitely exceeded my expectations. Like from the jump, we weren't really sure about going on it in the first place.
Well, I mean you.
Oh, I mean, when I saw the proposal for us to go and speak in Cardiff, I was just like, we're too damn busy to be going to Cardiff, you know. For some reason, I just put it in my head that like, it's going to be a long thing, innit? So, I initially declined it. As an executive decision.
Nah, I remember, you coming up being like, definitely we can't do something like that. I was like, what?
I didn't even say, what do you think about it, huh?
Yeah, bloody hell.
The funny thing was in the conference, there was a point when you were on the panel and you were like, I'll make the shots here or something. I was just dying in my head.
They asked like who's more introverted, extroverted. And I was like, I'll probably say in networking situations I'm a bit more extroverted. But then doing other stuff, he's more extroverted. And then he was like, I don't know. I was like, it don't matter what he thinks.
But yeah, like once, like after we discussed it and thought about it a bit, and I was like, okay, actually, like let's see what happens. Let's just go with the flow. And I think originally the hesitancy was also because we hadn't seen anything from them before. So obviously Riyo, they've been around for a while in terms of the PR stuff that they've been doing, the PR agency. And then they had their collective, but I had never heard of it before. So for me, it was more like a, I don't know, kind of like
a vibe or even thing you was walking in.
Yeah, exactly. And especially like going all the way to Cardiff for that. Like if it was a more established organization, I probably would have said yes a bit quicker. So it's kind of more on my side, the hesitancy. So I think Hannah's probably going to listen to this one. So
of course,
it was me. But like, so I mean, I said it in the presentation, like Sharmarke is the guy that he does want to push things out of the box a bit more than I do. I'm more of the hesitant one. Once we like jumped over that barrier and agreed, we said we'd be down. Then it was like, okay, what's the next step? We did a presentation, panel, and I was pushing to see if we could do both of them, which obviously in hindsight now, it wouldn't have made sense. Like the presentation we could have potentially done together.
Potentially,
even the night before, I was thinking, should I just tell Sharmarke, like, yo, just jump in with me? Did you see the presentation? But then, I was like, nah, man. let me just run it and see how it goes.
Absolutely. And I think it was a good call in the end.
Cool,
to just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because funnily enough, like when it comes to this kind of stuff, oh mate, the nerves go flying.
I could see it in your eyes.
Nah, normally, nah. I mean,
I could see there was definitely a change. I think as the speakers were passing, and it was kind of getting a bit close. You went from like looking at the presentations to just more like just looking towards the ceilings.
Yeah,
a couple of hand fidgets,
zoning out.
Like, okay, he's just going through his.
I'll tell you the whole shebang, but basically. Yeah, so once we agreed, Sharmarke and Hannah had a call where I wasn't available, so they had a call and they decided, okay, Mohamed's doing the presentation and Sharmarke's doing the panel. I was like, this absolute sound chick, I was like, hell no, I want to do the panel because that's a lot more control, more of a controlled environment. And I've never done public speaking before, like especially for non-work related stuff. I've done like work related stuff where I've spoken to like 50, 60 people. But I was like, based on boring work stuff, like nobody cares. Like nobody's gonna. I guess I'm not attaching any kind of my own personality or my own.
But you're just talking about statistics or something everybody
data.
knows.
This is the data we found. Blah blah blah. This is what's causing this. But I didn't really. Obviously, this is the first time me doing this. So that one. When she said, "All right, you're doing that one by yourself," and Sharks is doing a panel. Oh mate, I was about to throw hands. Oh mate, but no, not really. I thought that okay, it's good that I kind of get pushed out of my comfort zone by force a little bit, but I was also like, how is this going to play out?
Well, I mean, to be fair,
especially in an unfamiliar environment.
To be fair, in my defense, because initially I was like,
explain yourself.
I think it should be better that one person does the presentation and one person does the panel. But no names were initially brought up as to who does what or not. And initially I was like, I wouldn't mind myself doing the presentation. But then once it was like the posters and that were kind of coming up, and then Hannah was like, oh, here's what's it called, a profile for you. Do you want to switch it up or anything like that? And then I checked, I was like, oh, this is me on the panel. So then at that point I was like, okay, maybe there's no turning back. It didn't be long to redo it. Then in my head, the second thought was like, this guy. I wonder what Mo's gonna think now. Because you gotta think about it, like from the get go. Like I was more like, we should definitely do this, and he was like, I don't know. So then for him to be the one doing the presentation, after that was I felt it. But you know what? I think sometimes you need this stuff. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was thinking, like, okay, this would be for the greater good. This would be for the absolute greater good. Right now, it's too long to change anything. And if there was somebody that needs this more, in terms of like getting themselves out of their comfort zone, then it would definitely be Mohamed. And because I was like, I've done theatre, I've done other stuff like that. You know, I've pushed myself out. And in terms of like where we're trying to get to, we're going to have to become people that are more comfortable in these kind of environments. So it's like, okay, you know what, I think
I mean, absolutely, I agree with that. I agree with that from the jump. There was no like, logically there was nothing wrong with that in my head from the jump. I agreed completely, especially in hindsight now. You think about it, if we switched sides and I did the panel, you did the presentation, I don't think we would have gained that much. And like, I think you would have still smashed the presentation, and I still would have done well at the panel. But I think I would still be a bit of an unknown.
Exactly.
People, but so leading up to the presentation, I think once we got the presentation brief, and then we had a call with Hannah about what's the plan and whatnot. Then I was a lot more focused because up till then I was just like, okay, it's just the date in the back of my head. It's coming, but I wasn't getting anxious or nervous about anything. So when we got the brief, I think I banged out the presentation pretty quickly, and it was easy because I've been favoriting a lot of screenshots over the years, so I was able to pull off a lot of screenshots.
I saw some stuff that I haven't seen in like years.
No, there was the one that I was gonna pull out, which is you doing your New Year's resolution to say you're not gonna be late anymore. And I was like, you know what, I'll leave the boy out of it. So I made the presentation based on the Inspyre brand, like how we started, where we started, there's some screenshots of me without a beard going around that people were absolutely bamboozled by. Some people were sorry and they're like, no way, that's you. I wouldn't have. If you put the two guys together, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Yeah, you put the two guys together side by side.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And then so I kind of made a storyline out of it, out of the whole thing, and like going up to the presentation. Like I thought it was a solid presentation, and I ran it by a couple of people, like my missus, my sister, you obviously, and then Hannah obviously, and then everyone pretty much liked it, and then Hannah kind of did some final analysis of it and gave me some ideas how to improve it, and then the audience engagement thing as well, how we can engage with the audience during the conference, but I didn't cement that idea till I was on the stage basically, based on the other people that had already spoken, so I came up with that kind of on the fly. But that came out, I think that worked out pretty nicely.
No, it did.
And you know what it was as well? I was like, okay, let me take the heat off me for a second as well, like get them thinking about it.
Yeah, of course.
So like, then I'll draw it back to me after. And that gave me a few moments to have that, to compose myself.
That's the way.
So, but anyways.
No, but I can't lie, it was, from an audience standpoint, it was a 10 out of 10 performance. Considering the fact that I kind of also knew what was happening in the presentation, but the way that you was delivering it, was still like even new to me. So even on that regard, it was like, it wasn't this like just here's this what we did, here's that what we did. You know, you tied it into a story, which is obviously what we're all about. Yeah,
so I think that worked out nicely. I think I was able to show that we are storytellers, and this is a story. This is our story, basically, and I think that resonated with quite a few people. I was surprised by how many people were saying that they're quite inspired by it and whatnot. And then the guilt trip that I always get from people. Man, like, I've been reading every night. Like some people like come up to us and just talk about how guilty they feel about like not reading for a long time. I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear it, man. Like, Like why are you coming up to me like I'm your teacher or something? You know. Going back to like the conference and going back to the conference and the build up towards it. I didn't feel any type of way about like I didn't feel anxious or anything. I thought I would have, but until the night before, because of the drive up, because of the roadworks and whatnot, 3.5 hour ride became like a 5 hour ride. And then, as a result of that actually played a part in the presentation. Okay. Because I thought on the way there, I'm going to have a bit more time. I'm going to get there earlier, so I'm going to have time to revise my presentation. Right? But I didn't. I didn't actually have any time to revise. I never revised my presentation once. It was purely based on what I had what I had written in the presentation. I didn't I had written notes, but I didn't use the notes at all during the presentation. So that it's funny how there's like random factors that play a part in how the presentation actually turned out to X amount of people.
Of course.
Which is funny.
What do you feel like if you had read through notes, it might have been a bit different?
I think I would have been worse. Like I think it played out better. Because I was like, if I had revised, I would have tried to keep a structure, but I might not have had enough time to revise the notes and stuff properly. Then I would have been trying to regurgitate it.
You've been too dependent on the script.
And then I think I might have like I think that because in past experiences I've done that. I think I would have like fumbled over a few things a bit more. I think the only like real like criticism of myself that I have been that funnily enough, we can talk about that from the Midge's book launch, the self-critic thing. The only thing that I kind of criticized myself was speaking too fast, and but then there was a point where I consciously was like, okay, let me just slow down a little bit,
take a breath.
So I was happy with my presentation, but in terms of the conference itself, like it definitely exceeded my expectation. All the speakers were genuinely very inspiring, and leading up to the organization, everything was done very well. So everyone had well enough weeks I've noticed to prepare themselves for whatever they're doing. But on the day, it was a blur for me up until the presentation. But let me tell you something. Like we had lunch after the presentation, after a couple of speeches, and then there was one person before me, and then it was me. And by that, like I hadn't had a proper breakfast, and the night before I didn't eat properly. I had a banging headache. Like during that whole morning, I had a banging headache. And then I ate, and I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna feel better after I eat. Let me just slow down. I didn't eat too much because I was like, let me not be burping during my presentation, right? It sounded like Homer Simpson, but I decided not to eat too much. When I sat down, the headache was just banging.
No way,
like, yeah,
still there.
Yeah, even the moments leading up to it, like the headache was banging. I was feeling hot. I wasn't feeling nervous. It was just like, damn, like what's going on in my head right now? I had a mad headache, and then I was like, oh, please just settle down. But it didn't. Up until and then I just went up. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to film it. I went up, and then it's funny because there's one clip. Maybe we can put it into the podcast, whatever. There's one clip where you can see me locking in.
Oh, just before you went on.
Just before I went on. Like first, I was like listening to the host, like, yeah, that's a nice introduction. And then you just see me like Terminator mode. But that was me, like the nerves are clicking now. Something went on in my head, and then I went on. And then it was good that the laptop was, because in the beginning, the first couple of presentations, the laptop was on the backside, and the other person was managing that. Well, I think that would have been annoying for me because the storytelling side of it was easier for me to control the narrative a bit more with the laptop in front of me.
Like when you're done with this part, you can move on yourself.
And I can time how long each slide will be. Where I feel like that's another criticism. I didn't feel. It's not big, but I didn't feel like I timed some slides properly. Like I did some too quickly or some too slowly. For example, the one where I was like the end, I was like, everybody say oh, and then I clicked on the next one. I think too quickly. I wanted to let that one sink in for a bit, but I didn't do that during the presentation.
I think you've done that well because it got the laughs.
Yeah,
people were dying on the.
For some reason, I didn't think they would be laughing at that one. I thought that would just be an interesting moment. You know? But I don't know why, but like, people started laughing at that. But like overall, I felt like the presentation helped me keep my composure, and I tried to balance looking at the reading out the notes out loud, the presentation, and trying to look at the audience and speaking to them a bit. But I think everything worked out nicely, and it definitely helped that there was other good speakers before, so they gave me ideas for how
to actually interact.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So. But one thing though, because obviously we are here on the hero's journey this year. You know, we're all about leveling up in our creative spaces. So what I want to know is just how you feel now on the other side of like doing this. Because for example, with me, it was like when I did that Q&A thing at Duxie Days, that was literally a big like leap towards me being able to even come on stage and do a whole play.
Of course.
If it wasn't for that, I would have not done a play. I would have just still been in my head like around stage presence, like I don't want to touch the stage, you know. So like how's that now? Like kind of has it changed for you in a bit? Because I feel like for me, I feel like it probably has. But like how does it feel like for you?
I definitely agree. I feel like that those kind of moments. More so for yourself, but like it feels like okay, I've got some recognition now, and I've got to step into those shoes rather than hide from them. So like people know who I am, people know what I do, and so I've got to step into those shoes and feel them rather than trying to hide away in any like behind some curtain or something, you know. So that's what I would say. Like,
is it giving you the confidence that you could do another one tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. And I think you have to give credit to Riyo for the controlled environment that was created, where speakers were given time to like give their full stories. Basically, obviously, we were given a timeline, which I tried to stick to, and I think I did. And others didn't, but that made me feel comfortable enough to breathe in some moments where maybe I was feeling a bit uncomfortable, which didn't really happen. But I can imagine for the other speakers as well, they didn't feel rushed, which can cause issues.
No, it can, because you start speeding things up. And
then you're not given as much time to certain things that you wanted to. But then again, the audience as well was also incredibly receptive of everything, and you could feel a real family vibe in the room. I think, and I think when I was leading up to the presentation, I didn't know how big the space was. I thought it would be bigger, and more like people would be more sparsely spread around, but everyone was quite closely knit, and so I didn't feel like I was speaking to a lot of people. Funny enough, speaking about Mohamed Sharmarke sideways, little clip where he said that he thinks about people's psych patients. I didn't feel like there was a lot of people. That's what helped me. I just felt like okay, there's a front row. And that's it.
And that's it.
Everyone else is just a shadow, basically. So I kind of tried to look at like the front and second row a lot more. And every now and then I'll just like glance away to seem like I'm looking at the further back audience. But that helps a lot in terms of making my presentation comfortable, basically. And I think the same for every other speaker, basically.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm very proud.
I appreciate that.
Hey, the way when you stood up there, and then I can't lie, like I said, it was probably one of the best presentations out there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But I think the subject matter helped me as well, because everyone else had very different subject matter.
Yeah.
And I was coming from a completely different angle. And like, I think like me saying, I had a 9-year career in tech and I left it. Yeah. Like I didn't try and expand on that or anything. It left some intrigue. I think that left some intrigue there. Yeah. And people were more interested in what we do rather than what we've done as people and as careers, basically.
Yeah, and even after that, people were coming up to me like in the networking thing afterwards. I think you probably left at that point. Yeah. But they were like, there was a lot of people that were in tech that were now trying to like pivot out.
It's very funny, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like there was one guy, I forgot the brother's name, but
one brother.
He was doing he's actually got a good job, mashallah.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm trying to pivot out into doing my own thing, trying to jump on the creative content world. And in my head, I was like, you really want to do that?
Yeah. People coming up to me asking me for advice. I'm like, bro, there's a bit of time to figure things out. You know, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, but to be fair, I can't lie, I was out here blubbering advice.
Yeah, that was absolutely
because I guess I hear it in a sense. It's kind of like everybody's on this massive motorway of life of you finish school, you finish uni, and you've got the job, and then that's it until like retirement. But then when you're on that M-way, you just get tired and restless. You start looking at the scenery. You're like, I wish I was on a different path than the one I'm on now. You know, and the fact that you can basically take your exit anytime that you want and actually try and get into the path that you want, and if doesn't really work out, you can always come back, and it's like everybody's, I guess, scared of the initial part, which is just starting. But what I was just trying to tell them is like, there is no pressure. You're in a good position that there is no pressure to like leave everything. You can do it part-time. You can like make it around the stuff that you do after work, before work, whatever works for you, weekends, and just actually try it. But it's like, it always feels like this or nothing. And like it's either the job or it's fully this. And it doesn't really have to always be like that, But it's also nice that I guess more people are, I guess, in this world now taking more control of their lives and being like, I don't like doing this path. I'm just going to do it. Which is basically your story as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're an embodiment of... Like when they were telling me those questions, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is."
Go speak to him, man.
Yeah, this is perfect for Mo.
Yeah. I mean, I was getting a lot of those questions as well.
Yeah.
And like the guys come up to me and tell me like, "Bro, like this is the exact your story was exactly what I'm going through now."
Yeah, legit.
Which was very interesting. Like guys would come up to me like looking excited, like I want answers. I ain't got the answers.
Yeah.
I ain't got the answers, sweet.
Damn right. But
I tried to give them a bit of an idea of the direction that you want to go in. If you wanted to, I guess, be more fulfilled in your life. Yeah. I think it always, like, for me, like, any advice you can give, it comes back down to comfort and livelihood, where people worry about money. That's the be all and end all, which is a shout out to Abdurrahman Ibn Rais, because he gave a great speech about money and financial literacy and gaining control back of your finances, which contributes massively to mental health. So I think controlling your finances and making avenues for you to make money is ultimately the be all and end all of being able to comfortably pivot into something else. And like, you just gotta be ready to ride it out and grind for certain things, but be smart about it. Save some money a bit before you take the jump from anywhere to anywhere. But yeah, I think also people hearing my journey, like leaving the tech world, and then the week after me having an ACL tear, I told a couple people that, and they're like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Yeah, but that
start from zero."
Yeah, but that makes the journey even more interesting, innit? Because like I left the village, as we say, and now here is journey.
Absolutely.
I left the village and I got attacked straight away. Like some random sword came out of nowhere. I just got attacked.
The wolves came out. The world wolves.
Like a stray arrow hit me from a nearby battle. And then all of a sudden, I'm thinking, damn, I've got an arrow in the knee randomly.
Bloody,
I can still see my house. Like, what the hell? You know? So I think that makes it even more compelling stories to see like where I go. Because I've seen some real downs on this journey. trying to move somewhere there where I'm more fulfilled. But yeah, man, I like, for me, like the conference, I think every aspect of it in terms of content was very inspiring, and it got me thinking a lot about things. And even Hannah's speech around different roles in media and the importance of media. Funnily enough, it's funny because we got AI as a big issue. It's like a big talking point in society now, and how that kind of it might lead to a lot of these kind of jobs in that industry being lost, right? But you can say the same about a lot of different industries. So I guess we're in an era where human creativity and ideas are ultimately going to be the leading factors in the future. And by us trying to improve our creativity and storytelling, we're positioning ourselves in a way that will be better than other people are positioned if they're not being like idea leaders, basically.
Of course.
So I think that was quite interesting to think about. That could have been an interesting workshop thing, but yeah, man. What was your overall opinion on the conference and how it went?
I'll give my overall thing, but before that, we've touched on Riyo, but I'm just gonna give our audience like some information about them. So Riyo means dream in Somali, and Riyo Consultancy is the world's first global creative house uniting mental health and media innovation for lasting social impact through industry-leading PR, marketing and multimedia services, alongside world-class multimedia training and tailored support. They empower individuals and businesses to thrive creatively, professionally and mentally. And they are also home of the UK's first annual high-profile Somali-led creative conference, which is obviously what we were a part of. So a big shout out to Riyo for that, and a big shout out to Riyo for starting that, because I think even in Hannah's presentation about the different types of media that's needed, like a PR team, that's because that was one for me, because I was kind of like, how many people have your best interests at heart after you reach like a certain point, you know? And the fact that like the people that are at the top, or like that own the world's biggest like PR teams or media brands and all this kind of stuff, are like, I essentially all work together, you know? And it's like having people that are your own people that can give you advice, good advice, because they've been in like, you know, big rooms as well. It's not like they've just started. I was like, that's really comforting in a sense that if anything does happen, or if you get to a point where you need to grow your business, you can do it alongside people that are your own people. And there's a level of safety to that compared to like somebody else that you don't really know their intentions, or, you know, that almost feel like it's just cutthroat business. But I felt like with this, it would feel more, you know, family orientated. So it was good for me to, I guess, know more about Riyo and what Riyo actually does. But yeah, like I said, overall, it was a massive link up as well. We had Scope there,
for sure.
Abdurrahman from Urban Rise, Mohamed Mahmoud, of course. We had the brothers from Guided & Co. Baski, who was there.
Somalis in project management.
Somalis in project management. Somalis in tech.
Somali engineers. busy place, huh? Different mental health professionals and all that.
Mental health professionals as well. And
Naeem magazine, Asma.
Yes, Asma from Naeem, and of course Habon as well from Norway. That was all about the creative landscape over there. And so it was like, it was crazy, I think, for me personally, and for us to be in, not just in the room, but also to be a part of the room. Because I feel like before, especially kind of like, I guess, the Scope sort of gala, it was one of those kind of ones where I was kind of in and around, you know. But this one, it felt like we were, you know, a pivotal part of it. And that was really like, I guess, you know, what's the word? Motivating and
inspiring,
and what's the word? Where it approves how you feel, like, or like what you've been feeling,
affirming your belief.
And because obviously, I mean, we're on this journey, and then there's very few moments where I guess we have to be the ones that are like pushing each other on, like, this is good, oh, look how far we've come, and you know. But like, this was, I guess, a big indication from like an external standpoint of like, okay, you guys are actually, going places. And because when you're in the thick of things, you don't really have all the answers. You don't really know if it is working out. You're just like, okay, podcast, recording, next thing. Okay, show, promote this, next one, You're not really you're not seeing what's happening around it. You're just so tunnel visioned. So then I feel like that was a good little breather for us to have as well, and be like, okay, you know what, we're part of this great community and valued by the great community, and what we're doing can actually have an impact on people, and so that's what I essentially thought about. I think for me, if I was doing the presentation, I might have had those butterflies until I'd had to do the presentation, then calm down. But because I didn't really have to do that, and the panel talk wasn't really as, I guess, scary, because you're doing it with like 4 other people. It was kind of, I could see it, I guess, from maybe less of a blur than like you did. I could just see it from the thing and take it in, and be like, wow, this is remarkable. And also the fact that my in-laws were there as well, to be able to like bring my family out to that, and to see, and for them to see like what we're doing, was also a proud moment. And also Riyo, of course, my wife, out here hosting the thing. It was a mad, like, really family thing that was happening. I was like, I could sit in this space forever.
You just feel like you're in your living room.
That's what it felt like. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's good.
Got Abdul Fattah right here, you Scope right there, Mohamed Mahmoud right there. I was like, chilling.
Nah, that's what like the great thing was. Like with these kind of spaces, there's always like the go-to people that get called for this kind of thing. And we know all those faces, we know all their stories, and we've heard them 1,000 times. And it was nice to see like new faces that I hadn't met before, and like that are up and coming and also already established, and then mixing in with the people who have already been there, done that. And like that, I think that made it even more special rather than one or the other.
No, of course.
So like you kind of got like you said, the hero's journey from different angles, from all these different people. Some people that have just started recently, some of them who've just like made some progress, and they've got some kind of recognition now. Some who've already got a lot of recognition, but they continue to grow and push and keep on doing new things and trying different things out. I think that made it very special. Also, a very, I'll say, I mentioned because obviously it's been doing the rounds on LinkedIn, which we need to jump on a bit more. For Inspyre. For sure. Me too. I don't know. It's always in the back of my head, but I never get around to it. And then I see a post, or someone mentioned me or something. I was like, not LinkedIn again. but Mohamed Sharmarke said it was posted on LinkedIn, and then I just recalled like the first time I met him was at one of his talks for literary natives, which is funny enough run by Salma Ibrahim, who we interviewed earlier in the year for our book. So it felt like a full circle moment for me, where like, right, first I got to interview Salma for her book when I went to her whole event, and then and I also met Mohamed Sharmarke sideways there. That was the first time we're like going way back around when we started Inspyre. Of course, and then being on the platform with him and speaking alongside him as a colleague almost. That felt like a full circle moment for me. I hadn't thought about it until I saw him post on LinkedIn and mention me.
But that's wild, because obviously you were there. He was presenting at one point.
And I was nobody
presenting with him.
Obviously, I mean, I'm not. It's not like I'm somebody yet, but
but
at that time, we weren't even making any content or anything. So like for us to, and funny enough, he's always maintained his friendliness and relatability. Like even on that first day I met him, he was speaking to a good 50 people, and he was doing a panel alongside like authors and stuff. And after that, he introduced me to him. He introduced me to himself, and then I've known him since then. So he's always maintained that. He hasn't changed.
He's a wonderful.
He's always been consistent. So shout out to him.
Big shout out.
But how was the panel itself for you?
The panel one was an interesting one, because I saw like obviously it's like 4 questions, different parts. So I kind of loosely prepared for the wrong question.
Right. So what did you prepare for?
I prepared for like different ones in each one, because I thought maybe it would be like kind of passed around, like who wants to answer this kind of thing.
But like what kind of questions were you expecting?
So the first one was just more kind of about like the journey, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, I can't remember what the first one was.
I think also because I had already given my presentation, just to give people context, the panel was after my presentation.
Yeah.
So people kind of understood our story already.
Yeah.
And I did mention you a couple of times during the presentation.
Yeah, of course. So I was just kind of like, you know, I thought, what was in my head and like what the questions were. I mean, it was not like they were bad questions, but it just wasn't aligned. So I was like, a lot of it was just on the fly. But I had some sort of stuff that I wanted to kind of talk about as well, like, you know, the journey, like people trying to pivot out, you know, pursuing your own dreams, because now we can with the internet and all this other kind of stuff, you know. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad, to be fair. It was pretty chill. But I also just, it was almost a full circle moment as well for me, because, I mean, we've been watching Scope for how long? For years, you know. Yeah. And then to have them on the podcast and then connecting with them to be able to do the gala thing with them, and then now to be sharing the literally right next to me is the same panel, and I was like, oh wow, this is wild, and you know, that like what I have to say is just up there with Abdul Fattah, you know? And he was just chilling as well. He just looked like a man that's just done this 100 times. But then on top of that, also meeting Baski was probably one of the best people ever.
I love his energy.
Beautiful, brother. And then of course Asma, who I guess doesn't necessarily go show herself too much in public, so to actually hear from her and like her journey as well. So I was like literally, I felt like I was an audience member on the panel as well. So it was that's how. So I was like, I kind of enjoyed that as well, to also kind of, I guess, share more about our journey, which kind of led to a lot of people afterwards as well still coming to us or coming to me in the networking.
Did you give out much merch and stuff?
Yeah. And there was a lot of people that was asking like, how do I publish? How do I get into
I did get that a few times.
Should I publish or should I or should I go the traditional route or self-publish route and all this kind of stuff? So there are quite a few people out there that I remember that I'm gonna have to follow up with them in like 6 months to see if they've actually made progress on the book.
You're calling them out, huh?
Yeah, of course, because they were just like, I'm so close to finishing it. And I'm like, I've heard this 100 times. You're like me.
It's a mirror. You're mirroring me.
You know, so you know, I have to keep accountable. Then there was also one sister as well that was like, how would you guys like to work with, I think it was some group in Bristol that was like, for like book clubs, but for like single mothers, not single mothers, sorry, mothers with children. That they can, you know, take their children out somewhere, and then
you just said single mothers twice in a different way.
Did I say single mothers twice? Mothers with children.
You said mothers with children. What's the difference between single mothers and mothers with children?
You can have a husband and be a mother with a child. You know, it's not just for single women as well. This guy trying to cancel me. Trying to shoot me in the foot. I had a gun too, bro.
You're getting cancelled by your own show. Oh, man.
But like for mothers that have children that basically want to like, you know, intermingle and like socialize. Sometimes if you've got a child and stuff like that, it's hard for you to actually, you know, go out and stuff. So if you have somebody that also has children, it's easier to, you know, navigate around that. So they were like, you know, we use your name and this and that to promote such a thing. And I was like,
we'll talk about it, huh?
I said, why not? Just shout us and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're always open for collaboration. Yeah. Interesting stuff happens.
That's what I'm saying. So it was like,
I mean, this whole thing. Interesting stuff happens. You know?
It's interesting stuff happens. You know, as soon as you go out on the journey, you just get side quests.
Accept the side quest.
Yeah,
go ahead and accept the side. Yeah, I guess that's what it was for me when I first. When I first was like, I don't think we should do this. I'm not someone who accepts side quests. I have a main quest, and I have my own side quest that I've just initiated myself. And then I'm not really like trying to push for like NPC initiated side quests. So like, I'm getting better at that. When people approach me, I'm a bit more open-minded. But that's a issue.
But that's where the good stuff happens. It happens, the stuff that's beyond your control.
It was beautiful, honestly. It was beautiful.
And of course, I guess another one that happened on your lap as well was when I was like, let's do this show.
Oh, yeah, so your lap like that. Anyways, go.
I mean, when the idea fell on your lap. God damn.
Everything happened on your lap. Oh, man. Like Rahman said during someone's...
there's no need for that.
What you saying, the podcast itself?
No, not the podcast, the whole event that we have going on, the show.
Oh.
that's happening.
Which is something that I pushed back on. Yeah.
And then I think it was, and I was like, yeah, you know, we could do it as well for 200 people. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Why not just like, you know,
100 people.
100 people,
Yeah.
you know? And I was like, nah, I think sometimes it's what I've, again, come to realize is like, for me, I have to, I guess how I weirdly work is I work if I've set myself up against a task that I have to be accountable for.
Yeah.
So like now we've started selling tickets, it's like there's no going back. We have to now go through it. Otherwise, the more I kind of sit on the idea, I'm like, I don't know if, you know.
For me, it was also about timing as well. I felt like we needed a bit longer.
Yeah, I thought, to be fair, I think...
You're like, man, this is a long enough run time.
Yeah. I mean, when I think I first initially brought it to you in like September or something. Early September. And I was like, yeah, let's sit down and let's actually have a whole thing at the end of the year, because I was like, it'd be a nice way to wrap it up, you know? Because I remember we spoke on Inspyre Nights. I was like, yeah, it'd be good if we did something live, like a live show. But initially in my head then, it was also like maybe a live podcast or like a comedy show or something like. But now the fact that it's gone like this is completely different. But I guess it's also being true to our word. And self-promises and actualizations. And I was like, you know what? December makes sense. We have our show. Everybody goes off, enjoys the rest of the month. New Year comes back, you know, and we'll be in a... It will be more like, what's it called? Our XP would be higher.
Yeah.
Is what
you mean you leveled up?
Leveled up, you know, crazy XP conference. That XP went up, for sure. In itself, when I say XP, I mean like internally. Like the fact that, okay, now we can speak in front of people. You know, speech level has gone up for you for sure.
Yeah. Charisma.
You know, you're just gaining different skill points. You know, in NBA 2K when it's like the fans and the stars
the plus 100,
plus 100. Oh, it's all happening.
We sound like real nuts today.
But yeah, so then at the end of the year, you know, that's what I was like, you know, it'd be the perfect bow to tie everything up. You know, but like I said, I guess the good thing about you is you do have that pushback, but you just somehow find a way to just get on with it.
You know, what's funny about that is like it relates to my presentation, right? So one of the guy that did Kubra was Mustafa. Yeah, he was like to me like I love your presentation, but I just couldn't get it. Like I couldn't get it over in my head. Like you seem like you're nervous, but you're confident. You're nervous, you're confident. I couldn't wrap my head around you, but you smashed it. But you seem like nervous. I was like, yeah, that's literally how I feel. That's literally how I feel all the time doing stuff like that. Yeah, I'm like, I have to smash it. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel like biggest piece of dirt for my own eyes. Especially if I'm looking at the camera's back later. I'm like, damn, that was trash. So like of course, like I think the best thing about this podcast is from the day one. Like when we were like nervous, jittery people on the mic who I was continuously interrupting you because I felt like the empty silences were unacceptable, right? And you didn't have that confidence to speak your own mind, I would say.
No, for sure,
And like me interrupting wasn't like me interrupting on meaningful things, but I think the biggest thing has been learning that faking it till you make it in terms of just. For some reason, this word's been stuck in my head the last few days and I forgot it now. In terms of projecting your voice, I like just smiling a lot. Like that just makes such a fake image of what you're actually presenting that people will just accept that for what it is. So I think I've gotten good at that just because of the podcast. So I can just turn on the voice projection where I feel like I'm speaking to the loudspeaker. All of a sudden, everyone can hear me, and then smiling a lot. I think that just helps.
Even on the presentation, you're smiling a lot.
So I think that I've developed that over the years from the podcast. And I think that's helped a lot. And it relates to everything that we do. I guess once we have a game plan in motion, it's just like, all right, time to fake it till we make it. See where it goes.
And then I think also because now the story event also will be hosting it. So we'll be on the stage and all that kind of stuff. And in my head as well, I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, it would be good for you to have a time, I guess, on stage before that moment to kind of at least get that
Touch the ball
a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, take a touch.
Yeah.
Before I shoot the penalty.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has helped, and I did think about it myself. I was like, yeah, well, this will help with future stuff, especially for the December event.
Yeah.
So I feel definitely a lot more confident now for the December event of me being on stage myself.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking like randomly, like I'll just be like trying to sleep or whatever, and I'll just randomly think about what kind of jokes I might make on stage.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, all right, let me pull that back a bit. You know, like I'm already getting ideas about.
No, but that's what it is. Instead of just being constantly like, oh my days, I've got this thing coming up. I can't do it.
Yeah, I think I'm just a lot more confident in myself to deliver from my own level of standards.
No, of course, absolutely.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. I think in every anime, that's kind of how it starts.
Yeah,
you know, that you've got the guy that's very timid, and then but then he becomes the guy that's like saving the whole village at the end of the series. You know.
Yeah.
And it comes from like small things of like just throwing yourself out. Because I guess one thing that I started thinking about is like, what is actually the worst thing that could happen? You know what I mean? Like, half the time, if it's like a podcast, it's like, okay, fine, nobody would watch. If it's a presentation, nobody's really going to tell you, yo, that was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like, why did you put me through that? You're not going to hear none of that. So it's just kind of be like, oh, okay, you know? And there isn't much that will be fatal or detrimental that I've come to realize. Because it's like if you try to like go into your comfort zone, out of your comfort zone, and you try to do something that you've never done before, you put yourself out there, the worst thing that could happen is nothing changes. You're just still the same guy, but you just tried it. But then the best thing that could happen is that everything changes. Doors start opening up. People start saying, oh, you know what, I liked what you did here. You join a collab on something, and then next thing you know, like the wheels start turning. And that's what it is, especially if you're in this field, I guess we are putting ourselves out there constantly. So it's a case of like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You know, if the worst thing that could happen, if it is 0 views and 0 likes and engagements, then you know what I mean? It hurts, but it's not going to kill you. You're not going to be like, oh, you just like, okay, well, I'll just do another video then. Or maybe I'll tweak something else. But then the best thing that could happen is maybe 1 million views, and now you're someone else. You know, it just takes one moment for you to change your life. But you gotta stand and take those and to hit the baseball every single time. You know what I mean? We've had so many different analogies in this one.
I was about to throw another one out. I was about to throw a snowball one out. You gotta let the snowball roll if you want it to grow.
Damn right.
So if you don't let that snowball roll, then we're growing.
And
so
you think it's not ready enough to go yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing's gonna happen from it, you know, but you gotta keep taking those shots. That might sound crazy, but you gotta keep, and then one of those will go in, and then that's what, you know, will set you up on a trajectory to actually be able to change your life with it. You know, that's the beautiful thing about, I guess, the world that we're in right now. It just takes one moment. You know, it takes one person seeing it. It takes one virality, one something. But you've got to constantly put yourself out there to be ready for when that moment comes. You know, and I guess we've spoke about the show before. But have we ever gone into depth?
No, we haven't.
About the show?
No, not to the people.
Not to the people, we haven't, innit? So basically this is going to be, I think, in our community, the first of its kind, a storytelling event where we will have performers coming out that will be judged by wonderful panelists that we'll reveal later. And so they will come out and they'll actually share a story with us instead of like a spoken word piece or something else. They'll like be, you know, having a meaningful connection with the audience. And the topic is going to be things that words left unsaid, which is basically about moments in the past that, you know, you wish you said something, but then didn't. And maybe now that moment's gone. Maybe the person you wanted to say something to is no longer here, or maybe they are here, but things are just different, you know, and that's been riding with you for so long. It's basically talking about that, and they're going to come on stage and get real with the audience. And then there's going to be headliners as well that are also going to share their pieces. And then we're also going to have the judges, like I said, us as the hosts, you know what I mean, that are spicing it up. So it's going to be, I think, one of those nights, you know, a cozy night in December. That, you know, we want you guys to come in with nice little hot drinks, get cozy, get settled, and just actually let people tell their stories to you. And I think there's nothing more powerful than people connecting over stories, you know. So that's essentially what the night entails. A few bit of little surprises here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So Sharmarke loves to play devil's advocate, right? So today I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, but not devil's advocate. I'm gonna play the consumer's advocate. So is the show a spoken word show?
What do you mean spoken word?
No, I'm asking you as if I'm like FAQ. We're answering FAQs here.
Yeah.
I'm the audience who might
spoken word. You mean like poetry?
Poetry.
Spoken word.
Yeah. Is the show a spoken word show?
Not really. No.
So what is it?
It's similar to basically what the moth is, which is they come on and then they just essentially just tell a story, and it doesn't have to be spoken word. Because spoken word, I guess it kind of what's it called, gets conflated with poetry and like that kind of scene. But it's a performative story, is what I would say.
So is it going to be comedians?
Nah.
No?
I mean, it might be. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows what they might be. But what it basically is like it's a story. A storytelling art form.
And are there going to be judges that are judging each performance?
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
Well, the judges come out afterwards and then they choose their winner.
Is there going to be a prize?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now we're talking.
Oh, for sure there's going to be a prize.
Okay.
Yeah, a cheeky bit of maybe even audience participation. We'll see how it goes.
And where's it going to
be a tiebreaker, huh?
And where is it going to be?
You know what? It's a beautiful full circle moment again.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because, funny enough, a year ago, I actually performed there in a play. And I was just, walking around this place. I was like, whoa, how the hell did somebody get in here? You know? And it had a beautiful feeling about it because I essentially working there for 3 days. I would just come in, I would see it, and then it would be just full of inspiration, of course, in Shoreditch, which is also very artistic and creative. So it's going to be at the Rich Mix Theatre, which even sounds wild to even say. But yeah, that's where it'll be at. It'll be at on the stage. Yeah. Which is a beautiful little place that they have downstairs. Yeah, it's
funny. We made a whole podcast about Somalis in random Chinese villages. Yeah, Somalis in random theaters in East
To be fair, though, I mean, I would love to have taken that kind of credit, but with Somalis have been there for a minute.
Of course.
The Rich Mix, they're second home.
Yeah. Okay, other question. Can I bring a friend?
Depends what kind of friend. Now, Jake, of course you can bring a friend.
And how much are tickets?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's like £28. I think.
Yeah, £28. I'm asking all the questions that people might be asking in the comments.
Yeah,
after.
no, for sure.
You know what's funny? Like when you put a video out and then you tell them everything, but in the comments you'll still see someone asking the same question.
Yeah. Like where is it going to be?
Yeah.
Even you've said at the Rich Mix.
Already in their face.
Yeah.
Okay. When's it going to be?
It's going to be on the 14th of December, which is a Sunday. Beautiful Sunday. 6 p.m. sharp.
Yes.
Okay, we don't want to see no tardiness. There'll be little stands as well. Cheeky little bit of merch as well that you guys can grab.
Will there be food?
Potentially, yeah.
Will it be free?
Oh, that's we're going to have to see about that. It's a great question. You're asking the right stuff.
We'll bring Somali people around. Free food.
Free food.
Because it tastes better when it's free.
We might have some cheeky desserts, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do for the people. We'd love it to be free.
Yes.
But I guess we'll see what's the whole catering situation is looking like.
Where's the closest station? I'm joking. Anyways,
it's pretty much High Street.
Yeah, no, the location is it. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I'm just joking. But yeah, so that's Inspyre Nights. The theme is words left unsaid. I want to ask you why that theme, because me as your co-host, I did question why that theme.
You did question.
It felt a bit too negative. It felt a bit too negative. Why
No,
are
I think
why are we talking about regret?
Nah, I think it's one of the most poetic things ever. Because I think even myself, like there's countless times where I've been either going through like some old messages or like even Facebook sometimes when I randomly check it out and I'm like, oh, this is somebody that we fell apart in a weird way. And I wish
things would have been different.
Yeah, or like just to be like, I don't really, I'm not here to like ask about your life, but I'm just here to apologize for like, you know, like beefs. Like there was one guy that had
Beef.
Yeah, man, not beef, but falling out.
Yeah.
And he was a good brother of ours. And so it's just kind of like, you know, what is it that occurred? You know, so it's like it was that kind of stuff as well that's been musing on my head. And I was looking through, you know, different things like forums, Reddits, and even TikTok as well. Like there's a brother called Usman that he drops these kind of beautiful TikToks as well. But he was kind of talking about the topic as well of like things that we like wish we said in the past and whatnot. And I was just, you know, ruminating over the idea. I was like, yeah, that's something that would be beautiful for people to share, because then there's also a lesson behind it, you know, rather like, oh, when was the last time you had a good date? It's like, it's nice, but it's like, you know, and also if you look at the Moth, like some of their topics are a bit, you know, interesting and stuff like that. So I was like, this is, I think, probably in that kind of December blues.
Okay.
This is what would be
Seasonal depression, right?
Yeah, seasonal depression. That's what we're looking for. This will be like something to just show that you're not alone, you know. And
but also, let me finish from a different angle. The whole purpose of Inspyre and why we're doing this, why we're doing a whole show, is to tell stories in a way that can relate to different people in different ways. And in this particular theme, words left unsaid, the way I analysed and thought about it is how we can avoid these moments in the future. Rather than thinking about the past and regret, how can we think about avoiding those negative moments in the future and catching those moments where we might not say something that we mean to, but if we said it, there's more positives that emerge from it than negatives.
Absolutely.
That's the idea. Rather than thinking about regret in the past, we're thinking about positive things in the future and connections and relationships. So yeah, words left unsaid.
You're saying you got any words left unsaid?
Of course.
Go on.
Always. Go and buy your tickets because they're going fast and they're going very quickly. What?
And you was getting
I was on a roll. I was on a good roll, huh?
God, and you basically said we did it, we finished and we done. That's what
I was like,
you
y'all finished it, y'all done. Nah, so go buy your tickets on the 14th of December.
Because they're selling fast.
You know what? I've been a good salesman.
Hey,
I've been a great salesman for the book club and for this event. Well, for the last 5 months, I've been absolutely astonishing myself where I'm saying stuff and I'm seeing tickets sell.
Yeah.
And then Sharmarke's like, yeah, what you doing? You're doing a good job, mate. And I'm thinking, I never thought I'll be one of them salesmen out there, but yeah, genuinely, the tickets are actually going fast. We've sold over half of them. We've got a few family tickets left as well. So genuinely, I think on our next batch of our next push, we might sell out tickets. So if you want to attend that event, the last event of the year for Inspyre, and it's going to be a nice closure for us as well. You're going to be seeing us and some other great headliners, which will be announcing by the time this podcast is out. So you already know who they are, and you'll be seeing that we are bringing some great storytellers on, and you're going to be getting a nice story from each of them, along with some very interesting competition. So I think overall, the night will be a very beautiful night, an interesting night, and we'd love to see you there. So yeah, we'd love your support. So come down to the Rich Mix on the 14th of December with the Inspyre Boys. Tickets will be in the description. And if you're listening to this podcast, I'll even throw in the cheeky description code. Only for those listening to the podcast. I'm not even going to put it in the description. How about that? Yeah?
So you're going to put it?
I'm going to put it live right now when I spell it out. Yeah? Yeah? So it's going to be PaperTrails. And spelled out the basic way, PaperTrails. We'll make a discount code specifically for people who are listening right now at the end of this podcast.
Amen.
If you catch that, then good on you. And we'll see you there.
Damn right. You're also going to put it on the title screen.
Nah, they're not gonna, the people who hear it.
Yeah, you never know how PaperTrails is spelled.
Nah, I spell it out pretty clearly right now. P Papa Alpha Papa Echo Romeo Paper Trails. What's T? Tesco.
Tango. Yeah, Tesco. Yeah, damn, brother.
I've been in this country too long. Anyways, PaperTrails, all one word. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much for listening. And yeah, see you there. Cool.
Thanks for listening to the PaperTrails podcast. If you like this episode, please leave a review, comment, like, and subscribe. And be sure to follow us on all our socials.
Keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.